All right, one of my favorite things to paint in the whole world are leaves. I just love to paint them. I love the life that you can give them, and I love how easy they can be. We're going to paint some leaves together, and I want you to please refer to the e-packet that this exercise came from. It's printed on your screen there. And we're going to start by coating the leaf shape. I just chalked a few in. We're going to coat the leaf shape with some extender. Take that extender and wipe it off. First thing we need is a shadow color. Okay, I love to create shadow color using a brush mix of two other colors. I like to use a brush mix of red violet. Boy, that looks really hot red under the screen. Red violet and pine green. This gives me a nice dark. See how dark that looks? It looks almost black under the screen, but it's a little bit more interesting than straight black. And I'll take this right into the center of the leaf, which is right here, and I just wiggle my brush back and forth. I'm using an 8 shader. All right? And that gives me a nice center streak there. You can see how nice that looks with that. Okay, I'm going to pinch wipe my brush. Then I'm going to create my own leaf color. Okay, excuse the shadow here. Sorry about that. I'm going to create a leaf color with yellow oxide and just a tiny, tiny bit of black on my brush. And you'll see that what this does is it's going to green this up. Here's my yellow oxide. And there's some black. And you can see as I add this black, it's going to turn this color nice and green. And if I wanted to get it a little brighter, I can add a little bit of Hansa yellow. Okay, and that's going to brighten that color up. You can see it's kind of hard to tell under the camera, but this really does brighten this up to a nice brighter green. Okay, so I get this green here. Now I take and I load my brush, full loads like this, and I kind of push my brush back into it. You can see I'm pushing because I want a nice tip right in the corner of my brush of a lot of goopy paint. I go here to this, and I go right to the edge of my pattern, and I just set the brush down. I'll do this side first. I set the brush down like this, rock it forward, and then just pull it back like this. Not even cleaning my brush in between. Okay? You can see how I get some streaks of color there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and I just do it again. Starting up here now. And there's a little whip, I call it a whip, stroke there, and that just kind of rocks the brush forward and gives it a little bit of interest there. Doing it on this side too. Okay, and that's what the second step is. Very first step is you put down the shadow. Second is you just put down the base like that. You can always go back and add a little bit more paint if you like. Now, this actually makes a fairly nice leaf, just like that. I can create a chisel on my brush, just pull that, and there I have a nice leaf with a vein line in it. Not a problem at all. Now, let's make this a little bit more interesting by adding a little bit more yellow oxide and white to this mix. And then I'm going to go and do that same whip step right in the center here and create a little bit of a hurricane or a kind of a tornado look here. Now, this is all done using the global paints, so you can see that that's a little angular and a little rough. So I'm just going to take the very corner of my brush, and I just work it back and forth. This is an old oil painter technique. And now I've got a little bit more interest in that leaf. Okay, and that center kind of comes forward. I'm just brushing this ever so lightly. But the center comes forward, and it gives that leaf some life. Yeah, that looks nice. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just bringing this forward a little bit, just like this. And I just want to take the corner of my brush and just go back and forth, just like so. Just going to soften that transitional area. Now, if you find it still a little too hard, that's fine. Pick up your mop brush. Mop. Now, here's where the real interest comes in. That's a pretty leaf, just like it is, isn't it? Take that brush, just like you have it, and pick up some interesting colors. I love to use red violet in leaves. I know other people don't. I do. I'll take it. I'll just tip it right on the very tip of my brush like this. And I'll go and I'll do that little whip stroke in a couple places. I'll go right to here, rock my brush forward, and pull back. See how I get that red violet? Isn't that beautiful? Let's get a little Hansa yellow going. I just picked it up right on my wet brush. So I'll go here. See, I'll rock my brush. Let me see if I can get my hand out of the way. I'll rock my brush forward like this. Kind of tricky with my hand position. And then whip back. So I get that nice deposit right on the edge of the leaf. See how I start to get all this interesting color going in the leaf? It's just really, really beautiful. Let's do a little bit of that over here on the tip. Rock my brush forward, pull back with this whip stroke. With a nice vein line. And there we go with leaf number 1. Let's do another one together so that you can see exactly how I do this. I have it chalked in up here. Let me find it under the camera. Sorry about that. There it is. Okay, so we're going to go back to our base, our dark color right here, which is the center color. You need to apply a little bit of extender to that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this dark color right here. Let's just create a nice dark vein line, just like that. Okay? We can even put a little bit more red-violet right in that vein line. Okay? Let's go to our mid-value green, which I've already mixed right here using the yellow oxide and the black and a little bit of Hansa yellow. Get it nice and on my brush so it's nice and goopy. See how that brush is nice and goopy? Take it right to the edge of the leaf and pull down with that whip stroke. Okay, and I get that half of the leaf. That already has a lot of life. Let's reload the brush. Picking up a lot of stuff on the corner here. Now this one I'm not going to, I need a little bit more paint on that. I'm not going to lift the center like I did on that last one. I'm just going to let this be. I want you to see how easy this is to get a nice leaf shape. Okay, now this tip's a little awkward, so we can fix that. Watch how we fix this. When we bring that vein line forward, we just bring it right through that tip, and that'll clean that up just like this. Not a problem at all. And that's a little big, so we just go back and we pull that right over that vein line. See, you can always fix this stuff. That gives us a little bit more interest. Oh, isn't that pretty? Now, let's go get some of these other colors. Let's go and pick up some Naphthol red light here on my brush. Actually, we'll do that in a little bit of yellow. Let's get a little orange going. Get a little fall thing going here. And I never clean my brush in between. That looks pretty bright under the camera, but it's really not. Go back to this leaf and chop it forward. Get that nice color in there. See how pretty that is? Let's go to a little red violet. Right here. Get that beautiful color. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful leaf? You can always go back over it with some original base green. And there you have that beautiful leaf. It's a little hot here. Mellow that out. There we go. Well, I hope you liked your leaf tutorial and that you've learned some things by it. And please refer to our website, creativelegacyartstudio.com, for more information. Thank you.